I think there's this idea out there that if you work hard on yourself, build up your self-worth, learn to be confident, heal just enough, that you will achieve this level of personal advancement that protects you from feelings of dread, inadequacy, insecurity, envy, jealousy, unfulfillment, and from actions of immaturity. But this couldn't be further from the truth. And I think this is where I sometimes struggle with the self-help and self-improvement industry. Because if you're not careful, the constant desire to improve yourself, to become a better version of yourself, can lead you down a path where you begin to have inhumane standards for yourself. You fall into a trap of unrealistic expectations of perfection. You begin to interpret basic human happenings as deep flaws that need to be analyzed or corrected. You become too hard on yourself, and it's just dangerous and exhausting. You know, sometimes meltdowns are just meltdowns. They don't have a deeper meaning. You're tired. You just need to eat, shower, and sleep, and I promise you tomorrow will be a new day. It doesn't always have to be tied to that thing that happened to you in your childhood, or that thing that person or this person did to you. And even if it is, you don't have to do the work today. You get to fall apart. You don't have to prove anything. It's okay to have surprising and overwhelming emotions without going into a deep soul search. And that's because the very nature of being alive, the very nature of being part of the human family, is that you cannot avoid the mess. I mean, unless you build an underground cave and hide away from the rest of the world. But if you're up here with us, you will have days, situations where you can't believe you did or said something. Days where you might struggle to recognize your own voice. You will learn that you're not above jealousy, because jealousy and genuine support can coexist. Yes, you're capable of bitterness, anger, and catty behavior. And your breathing, meditation, detachment, de-escalation, grounding techniques will fail you on days when it feels too much. You'll also find out that your graciousness and your kindness doesn't mean you're not unkind. I just want it to be okay for us to feel all these things without turning it into a how healed are you contest or a how damaged are you contest. I would prefer a how human are you contest. Obviously, if you're in a constant state of jealousy, anger, envy, rage, and pain, then seek some help. But if you're like every living thing and your emotions fluctuate, you have days that will make your list of good days, you have different facets of you have insecurities, you have moments where you don't feel your best self, then that's okay. I know sometimes it feels like it, but life is not a battle. At least not a constant one. You get to take breaks. Not everything needs to be overcome, and even if it does, you can do it tomorrow. Today you get to scream, cry, complain, wallow, judgment free. It's human to be flawed. You don't always have to say or do the right things. You get to have foot in the mouth moments. Every living thing has a life cycle. So trust that you will learn things when it's time for you to learn them, and that you will unlearn stuff when it's time for you to do so. The best way to be human is by being human. And this is our first life, at least the only one that most of us are conscious of. It's all about trial and error, ups and downs, learning and unlearning. I'm tired of it too. This idea that there's a way to be here, that if I could just wake up at this time of the day, eat a certain way, move a certain way, treat my emotions in a certain way, that I could prove that I'm one of the gurus, the transcended, the ones with their third eye open. But boy, there is no one way to be human. And that's the beauty of being here. I promise you that all the gurus, the life coaches, the productivity masters, the motivational speakers, all your idols, they're all dealing with their own shit behind the curtain. But you don't know this because A, it's their private life, and B, they have a brand to protect. It's business. So the next time you find yourself crumbling, allow yourself to fall apart. For that day, allow yourself to crash. It's okay if you don't feel confident today. You can't always be confident. Just do whatever you need to do to get yourself through the day. And if your triggers got the best of you today, it's okay. You can start your breathing exercises and your meditation again next week. It's not all or nothing. Also, one can argue that happiness is just an illusion, and that it's in the posture of acceptance and in the release of our perceived control that we begin to find joy and strength to face the life we encounter. That is just one of many viewpoints. But whatever you believe, I hope you never buy into the idea that your self-love is somehow falling apart, or that your confidence was never real, or that you're somehow damaged or too broken or not disciplined enough just because you're having days of doubts or bouts of immaturity or even weeks of struggle. You are human. And the day you stop feeling it all is the day you truly die. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure. My name is Pearl. My name is Pearl, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh my God, I can barely breathe.